promoting businesses and organizations to help them reach their full potential. Lighten the path to the success of your business. Enhancing the lives of our listeners by talking about things that matters most. Helping you to shine your light emotionally, mentally, spiritually, socially, and physically. Spreading positive vibes. You've got it locked and you're listening to Light Vibrations, brought to you by Lyte Communications right here on CBN Radio 90.9 FM. And now your host and our director, Natasha Letts.
Hello, you got it locked. You're chilling with your girl Tasha T here, bringing to you another episode of Light Vibrations. And today, man, we're on the beautiful beach of King Garden Bay, just here chilling August Monday. And I have a guest for you, Sophie B. What up?
Hey, girl. What's going on?
It's all good. So, you're going to hear a little bit of music, you're going to hear a little bit of waves and a lot of vibes. Sophie, Light Vibrations, we're all about uplifting, inspiring and educating. What do you have for us today?
Well, I realize in the Virgin Islands, and not even just in the Virgin Islands, but the world on a whole, because social media will show you, just about, what everybody throughout the world is going through and experiencing. And I know a lot of females, and I could only speak about females, but a lot of females are going through tough times right now in terms of their relationships, breakups, their kids keeping a relationship with their dads after the breakup. And it's just something that we don't really talk about per se, and I think a lot of light should be shed on that particular topic, because it's a difficult topic. And I think that it's something that should be talked about to help people to get through it. And in the end, a lot of times too, the only people that are suffering or persons suffering are your children.
Definitely.
And we don't take the time to stop to realize, she over there sitting down in the corner all day, she ain't saying nothing. What's she really thinking now? What's bothering her? What's the issue? And not knowing that is, I want mommy and daddy to be together. Why daddy ain't coming to pick me up? Why I not seeing my mommy as often? We not stopping to think about these things, and it's reality. It's reality.
You brought up a dynamic conversation that we hope to do it justice. We do have a lot of male-female issues, especially when you see with the break of family. You have a significant other boyfriend, sometimes it's your husband, and then the relationship goes south. And a lot of times men, if they don't have access to that woman, they cut off a relationship with their child.
Right.
And that's definitely wrong. And guys, if you're doing that, you need to stop it. But let me try to get to the bottom of that issue.
Right.
What you think we as women are doing wrong? What do you think our relationship with the men, what are we doing wrong that once the relationship is over, that is inevitable to happen? Are we doing something wrong?
I think the only thing that I could probably say that we do wrong, and I could speak for myself too, is that we can only speak from a woman's perspective because we're women. But I could only say for me, what I was doing wrong, I give you more than 3 tries. I lay more than 3 strikes. And once a man realized that he could continuously do something, do you wrong, whether it's cheat on you, abuse you, whatever the case may be, once he says sorry baby, or he buy you some roses or something like that, and you let him back in, and you keep allowing it and accepting it, that's where you're going wrong. Because the moment you finally decide, you know what, I had enough of this and I'm gonna cut this off and it's done, I think that's when the man actually say, oh, you try and cut me off? Okay, fine, watch this. And they then use the child as a weapon. Definitely. Towards the mother. You understand? And you see it so often. And I always say I wanted to use my struggles and my pain to help others and to inspire others. So I'm very open about my life, and I'm very open about my situation, and all of what I speak about, I've experienced or I currently going through, and I just can't figure out how men feel by making the little human that you created suffer because you and the mother are no longer together. And I know men gonna say, well, the woman do it too. Then they keep my child away from me because we ain't together. But then sometimes too, you have to look at, there's some fathers who promise that they're gonna come and get the child. You get the child ready, the child sitting down in front of the door, 5, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, still no daddy. So at some point as a mother, you're gonna have to say, listen, I'm gonna protect my baby. I'm gonna protect their little heart from being broken and disappointed all the time. So sometimes this is a reason why some mothers say, you know what, you can't get your stuff together. You can't have access to the child. You know, and that's what the courts are there for also, to put proper things into place that they can't wiggle themselves out of it. You understand?
To me, Sophie, that's 3 different things we're talking about here. But this last piece that you said with the courts, let me jump on that first. The courts, to me, don't do a good job with time. They give you a fee, yes. They'll say, okay, you're supposed to pay X amount in child support, yes. And they don't even mandate that you do that, because how many men are still behind in child support payments? But what about visitation? What about that fostering that relationship is more to being a father than paying $50 a month?
Correct.
You know, and I think that's where the courts drop the ball. But even before we get to the court, I personally don't feel that it is the court's responsibility to have men act like fathers.
Correct.
If a woman have to take you to court, you know, well, we could look at it both ways. Because it have some men, some really good fathers out there, and then the woman then worthless and taking them to court for no apparent reason, but just to be worthless, wicked and greedy. Right? But then they have this set of men who ain't doing nothing. Who, like you say, because you don't have access to me, you want to spite me through this child. But I'm a grown woman with a job. You cannot spite me. Whether you bring your $50 or not, the child is going to eat.
Correct.
And I think men need to get away from trying to use this child as leverage and paying close attention to the children and fostering that relationship and being a father, being there for them, teaching them, passing on their knowledge, and not just thinking because you send $50 and then from the time you send the $50, you can't ask you for nothing else.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That's nonsense.
Because
if you have that child with you, and you know what most men need to do, they need to comfort the children and spend a extended period of time with the children to find out what the cost of a child is really like. So when you feel you send $50 and don't call me back for nothing, you know how much it is that woman is actually spending.
Right. Well, you know, for me, it really, you know, like when a man drunk and the things a man say, or even a woman, when somebody is drunk and the things that they say,
I believe every word.
that is the honest, purest truth.
Yes.
Right? So this is how I feel about a father, even a mother. When you see that they really when they start to neglect their child, or they're not there, or whatever, that's who they are. That's their true colors. That's the true person that they are. Exactly. Because there's no way that I could create a child. Okay? Create this child. In my case, in a woman's case, push out this child, and I just turn my back, walk away, like they don't exist. So that speaks volumes about.
I want to come one every other 6 months.
I do.
Seriously?
My oldest child is 15, and she spends weekends with her dad. I don't need to call my child to everywhere you is. You okay? I don't need to, but I do, because that's the type of mother I am. I want to make sure that my child is okay. If they need anything, how are they today? They feeling sick? What they say? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So even when they're in the care of the other parent, you're still supposed to be active. You know, not because you know that I feed in and I doing helping them with the school work or whatever. You just on holiday, you on vacation. No, you're still supposed to be an active parent.
Definitely.
You know, but again, it all goes to, once they don't have that, hey, I could come up by you later. Nah, you can't come. You can't come stay by me. So tell me something. You coming for Junior tomorrow? Nah. Me coming for you tomorrow. Nah. So what happened?
But here, this one is Sophie. Now, I've seen in a lot of people's newsfeeds on Facebook where, like, they have a lot of women who going through this. the issues with the father of their child or children. And I had this one feed I saw one time with this young lady. She was talking about, her child father, ain't checking for her child. But then you see him being father of the year with his woman or his wife's child. How do you feel about that?
Well, it goes back. He can't have his way with her, but he still have to paint this picture to the new woman that I'm a good dad. And most of the time too, they probably telling the other lady all kinds of things about the girl. She this and she that, she this, and I just can't deal with that. I had somebody tell me already too, some fathers don't be around because they just can't deal with the mother. But it ain't about the mother. It's about your child. So if your child mother does nag, she don't go on with the most, pretend you can't hear till you get a child through the door and you could go with the child and spend time with your child. Don't let that affect, when you're 3 years old, don't let that affect your relationship with your child. And then too, there are some women that are dating these fathers after the breakup with the mother, the child mother, who don't want the man to even be around the child mother. So this equals the father not being able to spend time with their child because the new girlfriend is threatened by the ex.
That even makes sense?
It don't make sense, but it's reality.
Well, if that's the reality that men going on right now, I need some hard slap because I don't see how your new woman could tell you to stay away from your child.
See, they ain't telling you to stay away from the child. They want you away from the child mother. Because if he coming up, now they always say that once you have a child for a woman, you and that woman will always have a connection. You understand? So they feel that if the child father now go up by the baby mother now, then they're there and he's spending time with the child. Eventually, something on that little match gonna strike again. And they don't know what's taking place. So that's they're anxious. They have an anxiety about the man going to the woman's house. So what they do? They want to mess things up with their current boo. So they give in to her ridiculous demands of, I don't want you going by the woman's house. And what I mean, that equals to you not seeing your child.
But, half of the time, no, we good for now. But you know what? I think it has some truth in that, because if a man's still checking for his child, let's say 7 times out of 10, he probably still have some kind of interaction with a woman.
Right, and come on, they're parents, so they must interact with each other.
No, I mean sexual.
No.
Yeah, I mean sexual.
Oh, you mean sexual?
We don't establish the fact that if they ain't having sex with the mother, they ain't checking for the child. So if this man all about checking for his child, he's still having sex with the mother.
No, because my eldest daughter and her dad, we have a good relationship. We communicate with each other in respects to her. Ain't nothing going on there. No. So not all the time where you see the parents co-parenting and being civil. They're doing it for the sake of their child. And that's the mature thing to do.
And that is a mature thing to do. And I hope that parents could be more less selfish and be more, committed to the needs, the emotional, physical, mental, spiritual needs of their child over, how they feel about each other, over the hatred, over the animosity, over the jealousy, whatever it is that's keeping us from co-parenting, because we need both parents.
And and it's normally the person who did this mess in the relationship. The person who do the mess in the relationship is the one that gives the most problems, the one who is difficult. You understand? And it all goes back again to they're the ones that more than likely caused the breakup of the relationship. And they upset now to the fact that you moved on. You're happy. You probably don't even have nobody else in your life, but you just move on and say, listen, I had enough of you. You go about your business. So they basically upset because of that. And the fact that you didn't really fight for them and you didn't fight for the relationship. You just let it go. So that that's that little bitterness.
It's always a bitterness. But why my question is, and I have a problem with this all the time, with men. Men will cheat on you up here, have all kind of woman calling you on your job, you know, threatening you, want to fight you. They cheating, they breeding off other women, you know, here have to be in the middle of dying, all of that story. But the minute you're ready to cut them off, it's a problem. But we as women, we always allow men, because we figure it's so much of a man shortage, or we figure we can't find another one, or we figure we can't start over. We allow these men over and over to disrespect us and be okay with it. And meanwhile, you can't disrespect no man. You know, if he even think you're talking to another man, he ready to cut you off. But we're gonna take our kind of card, 10 and 15 women, he don't throw in on our head. Are we still there? For what?
You know, for some women, and like for me, starting over scares a lot of women. You have to open up yourself again, brand new all over to another man. You know, show your vulnerable side again, you know, things that you don't like. You have to do that all over again. And for men are totally different from women. They could meet you today, then you'll be here today. A woman, we got to walk out. I mean, yeah, you got some woman who like that, but like that. Majority of women, you know, it takes time for us to reach that point with a man, to be intimate with a man, to be in a relationship, and to just know we have to start bare ourselves all over again is the reason why we stay in these really crappy relationships. Well, it's been 10 years. I got 2 children for you.
And meanwhile, you're miserable.
You're miserable.
You're miserable. You ain't going away. Your life ain't progressing. You're stunting your own growth.
A lot are afraid to be alone. A lot of women, they do not know how to be alone. Let me tell you something. I was married twice, and that's something that I'm not ashamed of. I got married the first time when I was 18 years old. I was married for about 8 years. And then my second marriage, I was about, how old I was? I think either 28 or 29, somewhere there. And I married again for 8 years. So I didn't have a break in between the relationships. And I was really young when I got married, and no break. I didn't know what it was to wake up in the morning time and not have a man breathing in my face, or breakfast to prepare for this man, or he clothes to wash, to iron. I didn't know. I know now though.
And if you
let me tell you, it is a good feeling. I sprawl off in my bed. Foot one over there, one over there. If I feel like cooking, my children are big enough, they go in the fridge and take out what they need. If I don't feel like cooking, I don't cook.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? I ain't got nobody saying, where are my socks? Where are my boots? You understand what I'm saying? Now, to be in a relationship is beautiful. I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna make it sound like to be in a relationship. But also to spend time with yourself is even more wonderful. Okay, I started gardening. I started my weight loss journey. I started my shows that I had on the back burner for the longest while, that I wanted to start but couldn't start. You know, I started doing so many more things that I wanted to do because I had that time for myself. So when you break up out of a relationship, don't try to jump into our next one because you're afraid of being lonely. Spend that time with yourself. Spend that time with God, most importantly too. You know?
I agree with you 100% because I know when I went through my breakup, you know, I took that time because for me, just like you said, it was all about him. It was all about the children. And Roxy was the last thing. I would get up 5 o'clock in the morning, late for work every day. And by the time I finished with children and trying to get stuff prepared to go to work, you know, I have 5 minutes for myself. So I could do in 5 minutes. And I suffered.
You had long. I'll never forget. This is a true story. I'm the type of woman, I'm not the type of woman that, and I think a lot of men are intimidated by women like myself. I'm very independent. I'm not saying I don't need a man, but I'm not the type of woman that, oh, I need $500 for a pair of shoes. I need $100 to do my hair. I need $100 to do my nails. So I always take care of myself, financially, everything. And one day, my ex, I don't know if I was laying down or I was sitting on the couch, but I hadn't had my feet done in a long time because I couldn't afford it. It was either the light bill, the mortgage, whatever it was. I always make sure that I take my money and I put it in my family or I put it in the house. So I never had time for the luxuries. So my feet had looked a little beat up. And he watched me dead in my face and he said, look at your foot bottom. Look at your foot bottom. And let me tell you, I could have died. it was hurtful, and it was an eye opener for me, because I'm like, but you're my husband, and I'm your wife, and you're supposed to see how hard I work. And if you see that I can't afford to do something for myself, you're supposed to be that support system to say, you know what, baby,
Hey,
I'm gonna send you to the spa
come there.
to get a whole walk.
Yes.
I didn't get the offer. I didn't get the money to do it either. But what I did was, when I did get money again, I went by Dave and I get one of them foot scrubber. I get a whole walks, and when I go in the shower, I do my feet. And I said, no man ain't gonna never tell me ever again, look at my foot bottom. Okay?
But you raised an interesting thing there, you know, Sophie. Let's talk about the independence of women and how men react to that. Because sometimes you're with these men, and you know, some women, they let the independence go a little too far. Where they with men and they're like, oh, you ain't this or you ain't that, constantly trying to belittle a man, which is not good. Because if this is the man you choose, as long as he's ambitious and progressive, you should be able to work with that. Because you know, somebody have to make more money.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, what you're seeing here is a bunch of men, because the women now are so progressive and you know, so independent. They either one, lay back, two, hate you for it, or spend every drop of your money and feel like, you know, like your husband, like, I start that out.
Yeah.
But as a man, you'll be like, come baby, you know, do that.
It's sad. It's really sad. And for me now, being back out on the dating scene, I had a man tell me already. He said, me ain't no kind of level to even approach you. Based on the type of woman you are, I am not on a level to approach you. So he's like, I gotta get my heads together before I even approach you.
Well, you respect that.
I respect that.
Yeah.
But then you have some men now that will see you with your house, your good job, your Jeep, you doing for you, and they feel in a type of way because they can't provide those things for you, or you don't give them the opportunity to provide them for you. They feel as if the relationship is not going to be balanced, because some men like to know that they have that level of control over the woman. Well, she gonna come to me at the end of the month for $100 to do her hair, and if I don't feel like giving it to her, I ain't gonna give it to her. She gotta give me sex 3 times a week before I give that to her. You know, some men like that. You know, so I mean, I like being independent, but I also like for a man to do for me. Hello, show up to my job with some flowers.
You know,
my sister, baby, you taking me for dinner?
My sister say, this is man like damsel. Man like
darling, no. What am I going to do?
Help. Yeah, man like damsel. Well, I don't gotta try. Because these Spanish women taking over everything. Them is damsel. We could not take a page out of them.
You really think they're damsels though?
Yes.
No, some of them just playing a game, I guess.
Well, it's a
all
good
woman.
game.
All women do play that game.
Men don't feel good unless they feel that their woman need them.
And that's, I mean,
so,
I don't mind.
Well, I
will let you feel that way, you know.
Oh, need them. So baby, I need you. I do
need my man. I do need you.
But maybe sometimes we don't do a good job of letting them know that we need them, and that's why they find all these needy women. Cause when you pull up who it is they're cheating on you with, they can't even light a candle to you, but that's what they need. They need to feel like they, you know, they're some kind of savior. And you should be able, all the independent ladies out there listening, hey, be the damsel for your man, you know, and stop playing. The baby, rescue me.
I don't know. I don't know. Like in everything, there's a balance. So if you can't find that balance, you know, a man have his rule. Certain things expected of a man. And I like a relationship where it's 50-50. I don't expect the man to do everything in the household. Pay the rent, pay the light bill, this, that. No, 50-50. We come in halfway. You know, meet me halfway. Meet me halfway, you meet me halfway. And we're gonna make this thing work. We are a team. Right. You know, but some men feel like their women are against them. Sometimes you'll be trying to encourage the man, you know, I think you should do this or you should do that. You know, go back to school, get a trailer. Oh, you trying to control me now? You trying to tell me what to do? And, you know, so some men can't even take that. So, you know, it's a lot of things that I feel like if men and women discuss certain things on the first date, in the beginning of a relationship, whatever, just discuss certain things to know where each person stand on certain things. I think relationships would be a whole lot better.
But we ain't got no time for that, Sophie. We're busy trying to sex. But that is what's going on. That's why we know after we done jump in sex first, we now try to salvage a relationship out of that, where no clear foundation was set, no expectations was set. So it's like you just blowing in the wind with your unsung expectations that somebody really even ain't buying into or even know that is what you expect out of the relationship.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is correct. We need to stop that, ladies. We need to stop sex first and then expecting a relationship. And we need to have those conversations about your future, about your expectations of how you see a relationship, where you see your relationship going, where you is in your life and what you need. And if you don't know all these things, you don't need to be in a relationship.
And you know, like my sister was saying, if it quack like a duck, walk like a duck is a duck. If somebody show you who they are,
believe them.
From the beginning, listen. As my sister, I had her on one of my shows, Dr. Ruben. She was like, within the first 6 months of a relationship, by a year, you should know exactly who that person is. And some of us just realize, well, he's a narcissist. He's a cheater. He's a liar. And we still
he might change. He might change. Or you know what we don't go wrong too? Or if I marry, he gonna stop. So he doing it all the time when you were just his girlfriend. You think because you say I do know he gonna change. We women need to stop fooling ourselves.
Yeah. We need
to be real with ourselves.
Be realistic when the signs are there.
Yeah.
Realize that the signs are there. Take it for what it's for and move on. I figure I said this on one of my shows too. I said, God did not design me the way that he did, which is I'm a very loving person. I'm a great person. I'm not perfect, but I have so much love to give. He ain't designed me and not have somebody to match.
Exactly.
So I know that person is out there, and that's I want all women to feel that way and think that way, so they don't keep jumping into a relationship thinking that, you know, they ain't gonna never find the right person, so they have to settle for whatever it is that they're getting. You know, that person is out there. When you least expect it. I have a cousin, she was single most of her life, and she found the love of her life when she was probably almost in her 60s.
Wow.
And he swept her off her feet. They had the most beautiful wedding. Isabel is 15. She was the flower girl. And they still married. Isabel is 15 now. So it's possible.
It's possible.
It is really possible.
Yes.
You understand? So it's really possible. And all you just have to do is be patient.
Yeah.
And again, God, you got to consult God.
You definitely listen. I have a little testimony. I remember when, you know, I wasn't even really dating. You know, the time when I broke up with, you know, my kid's dad or whatever. I was just really chilling, and I decided to myself, me want a man, blah blah blah. And it's only when you decide you ain't want it to come flocking you, right? So about the time
that'll be the test.
but this is where the test come in. Around the same time when I met my current boyfriend now, it had about 3 or 4 different men, you know, trying to court me or whatever. And, you know, each one of them had, you know, their own little challenges that was immediately based on what I said I established that I wanted for myself. I said, nope.
Right.
So if I didn't have a picture in my mind of what I wanted, I would have missed out on the person I have now, because I would have gotten so caught up in the riffraff that I wouldn't have been able to decipher, and then I would have missed out on that. So because I already knew what I wanted or what I was looking for, or what in my mind, the picture I needed, you know, when I did see him, it was like the light bulb click, because they had no distraction, they had nothing else. And I say, see, God, if I had get caught up with this one or get caught up with that one, I would have never met the person. So it's like you really have to know what you want for yourself. Know what you're accepting and know what you're not. We all been in relationships. We should have learned something from it. Ain't nothing you go through in life that you shouldn't learn from. So take whatever you learn from your past relationship, whatever difficulties, the red flags that you didn't pay attention to, and make sure moving forward you don't get back in the same trap. Don't find nobody that's the same or worse. Always upgrade. Always upgrade.
When you see them red flags, according to Wally British, when you see them red flags,
jump ship.
Don't go no further. I mean, it's a learning process for everybody. It's crazy, but you know, I figure once you, as you say, you know what you want, don't settle for less. It's gonna come. It's gonna come.
It's gonna come. So you guys like you've been listening to Lyte Vibrations and chilling with me, Tasha T, and my guest Sophie B. Final thoughts. My half hour done.
Oh jeez. Well, final thoughts. Again, don't settle. The right person is out there for you. Be sure to consult God. If God says no, it's no. When is yes, He gonna say yes. To the dads who are currently not in your child's life, due to you being petty and because you can't have access to however you want to have the child's mother, your way with the mother, really, really and truly you need to think about your child and to know that they ain't gonna be small forever. They gonna grow up and they gonna start to pull 1 and 1 together, 2 and 2 together, and you're missing out on the best years of your child's life. And you gonna get old one day, and you gonna need somebody to wipe that bum of yours.
Okay.
So do right by your children. Mend the relationship with the mother. Be respectful to the mother, and vice versa.
Yes, definitely.
Women too, we gonna make it seem like we gangbanging and the man them. Mend the relationship, because at the end of it all, it boils down to the child.
The children. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show and having this candid conversation with us, and we do hope that the listening audience sort of garnered something for it as we continue to try to promote healthy families. So thanks again for tuning in, and join us this time next week for another edition of Lyte Vibrations.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Lyte Vibration, and don't forget to tune in this time next week as we continue to bring you life-changing information. Until next time, shine your light.